Welcome to 24 Days of Drops, an Animal Crossing New Horizons advent calendar that reveals a new build for a differently themed island entrance each day until Christmas. Are you ready for today's theme? Hello, and welcome to day 11. No, why am I always say the wrong number at the beginning of every single video. I see it at the top of my recording. I should know the day. It's day 9. It's not day 11. Welcome to day 9 of our advent calendar. And also the shortest one of all the builds that I've ever done, I think. And also the shortest one on this advent calendar, so it's going to be interesting. But this was very fun to build. Today we're building like a Trashcore polluted landfill type of build, because I just felt like when I was building this, I just felt like throwing trash items together, and that is what I did. That's exactly what I did. And I've been wanting to do a Trashcore island for a long time, because we all know that I'm obsessed with like abandoned stuff, so I feel like Trashcore is just the next step from that, kind of like the level upped version. That, right? So we're starting with laying down all of this pathing. I'm going to be doing a lot of pathing in this video, because if I was to edit out all the pathing that I've done, then this would probably be a 5-minute speed build, and I am not going to edit a 2-hour building process down into 5 minutes. I am very sorry. So you will have to see a lot of pathing. But again, for every single one of these entrance builds, all the descriptions, all the codes that I've been using in these builds are going to be in the description of each video, so you can check that out if you are interested in any of the codes that I've used for this island entrance. I love them all dearly, and I feel like they go quite well together, even if they are not by the same creator. I will also do some weird pathing that I will then later fix up, you will see, and I will also call it out once we get to that. But for the front, I wanted this to feel fenced in. And also a little disclaimer, I did not completely, my sister's in the room with me, so if you hear coughing, that is her, because she's a little bit sick. But yeah, so there won't be too many like buildings around, but I could imagine there being like very tall buildings to the sides, especially to the right. But I obviously didn't do that because I'm not planning to continue doing anything on this island really. So you could definitely box this in or connect it in with multiple builds. So I'm keeping those options open for you. And I may also been quite done with this after I've thrown together like a bazillion cardboard boxes. I was like, nah bitch, this is enough now. So yeah, you can do that if you decide to, or you can't, and this is just gonna be a stunning Trashcore build for you. And this is also, I think, I mean, it's not the only core build, because we still have cottagecore and forest court to do, but this is one of the very few core builds that I have labeled as a core build, because, you know, as I've said in my, I think, second to last video, I'm over the cores, but this one I've just been wanting to do for a very long time, but I couldn't really see me do a full Trashcore, and I feel like that would get quite repetitive after a while. But I think it could also be cool to just imagine like a full island as like a landfill. I think that could be really cool. So, you know, if you do something like that, or if you know someone who has done that, please send them my way, because I would love to check them out and maybe tour an island of theirs. That would be stunning, like privately, not for the public, don't you worry. And yeah, to the left I'm also going to be popping in a little incline, which I really love. I wasn't sure if I should use like the metal ones. Imagine there was like a gray or like a rusted, like a proper rusted metal, or not the red one, but like the brown metal. Oh my god, so stunning. And here is where I'm going to do the little fuck up with the pathing. I think I'm going to fix that later on, but I didn't show it, I think. So as you can see, I'm laying down these tiles, and then I have this like curb code, but I put on the wrong one, so it doesn't align with the tiles, so it doesn't make any sense at all. So I'm gonna fix that later on, but I don't think I've showed you, because it's quite boring. It's just me flopping down, like, you know, kicking off the path that I had already laid down, and then flopping it away again and changing it. So that is very stunning. And then I wasn't sure if I should have a kind of sharp edged cliff so that I could have like some buildings surrounding it, or if I should round off the corners. So I'm doing both. to the right, I'm going to round off the corners at first, but then later on I'm going to be popping some buildings there as well. So you don't have to round off any of the corners if you decide to do something similar to this, because it's going to be hidden by retro transportation stops and simple panels and all that good stuff. Because I don't know, I feel like having buildings as opposed to very natural looking landscapes surrounding this is just going to help to bring it together a bit more, because, you know, there probably wouldn't be too many natural hills in like a landfill area. I wanted this to feel completely cluttered with just random items, so there's no rhyme or reason as to why I'm placing stuff where I'm placing it. I just decided to flop it there because it looked nice. I mean, it's as nice as trash can look, but we're going to be using tons of the tank items to really make it feel quite tall and full, and also all the what are they called again, the gear items, like the gear tower I think it's called, and the gear something. You will see once we get to that. But I really like how they look. They are very stunning, especially in the rusted color. They have two rusted versions as well. I think I went with the more brownish one, but they also have a very orangey rusted color, which I also really like. I was contemplating to mix them, but it didn't really sit right with me. So yeah. Anyway, I've been waffling for like 6 minutes now, and we're already over half of the build into the video. But how are you? I hope you're well. I hope you had a lovely, what is today? I think today is Thursday for you. That could also be very wrong. But if it's already Friday, then happy Friday. Because I feel like I'm losing track of time. It's very tough for me to think about the day of week, even though I could just check my calendar. But you know, I'm a lazy one, so can't be asked with that shit. So you know, I just, if it's not Friday, then it's a little Friday. It's Thursday, right? Yes, it is.
Nice shot!
And I also really like, oh my god, I really love that I finally got to use some of the black and the grey bottle crates, because I feel like they mix so well with like brown tones and then the yellow. And I wanted to have tons of yellow because to me, yellow, or like a more kind of bright instead of like a warm, you know, not a sun yellow, but like more that like intoxicated kind of yellow, goes so well with the glowing moss items. And I felt like that just brought it together so much and made it feel a lot more polluted. You were also, I kept in where I was checking the view so that you can see which areas I still needed to fill up. So I checked the view and then I realized that I didn't have anything up on the right side that was a little bit taller than the truck, so it felt a bit awkward. And I wanted it to feel like a full kind of not skyline, but you know, like I didn't want there to be too much empty space. I wanted it to feel like the trash is almost consuming you, maybe, right? So we're going to fill that up with retro transportation stops, just making some buildings. And I would probably put some more buildings to the right. You could also use the display cases, kind of similarly to what we did for the Cherry Blossom City a little while ago. So if you haven't checked that build out, that's also how I do a lot of my buildings. And also the bridge, have we done? Yeah, the bridge build we've already uploaded, because I have like those ruined arches. I feel like you could definitely use some of the ruined items for a theme like this as well. I think that would be really lovely. So yeah, but I feel like we only have like some details left. So I'm going to be doing some pathing back here and popping in some more of those gear towers. I love them so much, the way they move. And I also turned them because I don't think you can really tell as they are moving, but I didn't want them to be the same orientation. I don't think that you can tell at all because they are rotating. So doesn't make sense at all for me to turn them, but I still did it because I know that that's possible. And oh, it's called the gear apparatus, right? I just remembered. It's called the gear apparatus, and there also is an item that I think it's called meter and pipes or something, or pipes and meters. That could also look very stunning in an entrance like this, because I feel like, I don't know, it just matches the vibe quite well, and it's a bit skinnier, so it's like a 1x1 item, so you get like all the different kind of nooks and crannies filled up with those. But I don't think I've used any of those, sadly enough. I don't know why I didn't, because they do look quite nice and I thought that I did, but oh well. So we're just going to be plopping some more stuff down, and then in a second I'm going to be detailing this up. Also really like this smiley graffiti code that I use, and that's kind of what also made me go for a bit more of a yellowy tone, which I really enjoyed. I feel like you could definitely also use more graffiti codes for like like simple panels to make it feel like maybe, I don't know, people came here and sprayed some of the walls with graffiti. I feel like that could really work, but I don't think there's any yellow graffiti that I really liked. I've only seen like red ones, blue ones, but I rarely ever see yellow ones. So if you have any, also please send them my way, because I would love to use them in a future build, because I really like having graffiti in my builds. Hello, it's Intervention Nina, because again I had to edit my voiceover so much because of all my ums and uns, and because I'm breathing quite heavily, because I'm not sick, but I'm like sickish. I'm sicky, and so I had to edit out a lot of my very heavy breathing as I'm speaking, because you don't really have to hear that, and all my ums, because I do say a lot of ums, and now I'm very aware, so I'm hoping not to say anything to fill in all the blank spaces. But that's a problem. Like, do you have a hack of how you can, instead of saying I feel like some people breathe, but then my breathing I have to edit out as well, because it's like I don't know, it's very strange. If you have any hacks, please send them my way, because it would make my life being a YouTube person so much easier. But now I'm going to give the word back to the proper Nina to finish up and wrap up the build. But now we're finally on to detailing, so I'm going to be flopping in some more cardboard boxes, just detailing up this front bit because it wasn't full enough for me. And then in a second I realized that there wasn't enough up here. And I also like that if you hide the oil barrel bathtubs, that you can only see the steam, so it kind of looks like some things, like, you know, maybe the trash is still hot, so it's kind of like, you know, there's like this steam coming up from it. So I really enjoyed that. And I also had to fill this up a little bit more because it was still not tall enough for me, because again I wanted it to feel very overwhelmingly trashy. I feel like this is also what this build is going to be. But then in a sec, I'm finally going to be popping in some more leaf piles and some more scattered papers and empty can and all that good stuff to detail it up a little bit. So thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I shall leave you now with a montage of this finished, very short and teeny tiny build. Tomorrow's build is going to be a lot longer because it's going to be a very long one. I can just tell you that much. I don't want to spoil what it's going to be, but it's going to be a very fun one. I really enjoyed that one a lot, and I'm very proud of it. So if you'd like to join me for that, I shall be here tomorrow. And if not, I'm going to see you when I see you. Take care of yourself, my love. Yeah, bye-bye.